Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Nick Luckenbaugh. I'm the Director of Development here at JobPath, and I will not be getting us started. I would like to welcome up our illustrious Chairman of the Board, Gary Mayerson.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm still Gary Mayerson, the chair of JobPath's board. We're gonna get underway for tonight's program. Before we do, I want to extend a personal thank you to all the many donors, friends, community members, fellow board members, and JobPath staff who have made tonight's event so impactful. This includes a special thank you to the Poses Family Foundation and its generous support of not only this benefit, but all the many other things that JobPath does year-round to promote greater independence and a genuine sense of belonging. Greater independence and a sense of belonging is what JobPath has brought to the table for more than 40 years. Really, what could be more important than that? I also want to give my personal congratulations to tonight's honoree, Amy Altoff. Where's Amy? Amy has been part of the JobPath family for 20 years and has touched and enriched the lives of so many in our community. Now we're about to get our program underway. Please welcome our host for the evening, comedian, writer, and disability advocate, Pefar Snipe.
Good evening, everybody. I feel like the crowd is not hype enough. So I'm gonna say good evening, and you guys are gonna say good evening with just all of the JobPath love that I know that you have inside. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So happy to be here again. I loved being here last year, so thank you so much for having me back. I am so excited about everything that JobPath has been doing over the past year, as I know all of you have been. And it's wonderful to see honorees this year getting recognized for all the wonderful work, like Amy, been with JobPath for 20 years. 20 years? And I was thinking, what are some things that were happening 20 years ago today? The world has changed a lot, right? Past 20 years. We weren't addicted to our iPhones 20 years ago. I had an iPhone 4C. I don't know what does that even look like now? I don't know. We still had iPods 20 years ago. Remember that? Before we did everything on our phones. We still might have been using disposable cameras 20 years ago, where you went and dropped off the camera and waited for the film to come back, and then if you had a bad picture, that was it. There was no deleting. Destiny's Child was still a group 20 years ago. R.I.P. Things that we needed. The Office. The Office was a show that we were all watching 20 years ago. And now we are in a new world and a new life, and things are, they're just a little bit different. I was on my iPhone doom scrolling for 7 hours today. I don't know how I even got out of it to be here right now. I'm addicted and it's a problem. But JobPath has done amazing things to make people not be on their phones, but get them employed in a way that they need to be. In today's economy, we all need a job. And I also have a pitch. Carly, I have a pitch for you. If you could start employing comedians, I would really appreciate it. I know a lot of people in the comedy community who need some side gigs. If you guys want to add that to your repertoire, just let me know. I can use a little help. But yeah, I'm so excited to be here. When you think about JobPath, I was walking around and I was talking to some people who are here who are great supporters, and I asked Dana from the Frick Museum, what is it that makes you want to support JobPath? And she said something that is just so simple, but it's so true. Supporting JobPath and helping people with autism and on the spectrum become employed is a no-brainer. It's no brainer. Helping people with disabilities be a part of the employment community and be able to support themselves is something that everybody should have as a goal, because we all deserve the right to be gainfully employed, to feel a part of our communities, and to be able to support ourselves. And when we support ourselves, we can also support each other. And that's what makes this just so incredibly important. So a round of applause again for JobPath and all of our honorees tonight. And without further ado, I want to introduce the woman who helps make all of this happen. Give it up for our CEO, Carly Teichman.
Sorry, I gotta move these up a little. Thank you, Pevar. We are thrilled to have you here with us again. Thank you so much. As you heard, my name is Carly, and I have the pleasure of being JobPath's CEO. I look forward to this event every year, and while the breathtaking views here at Covington are a highlight, the true draw for me is the incredible group gathered here tonight. I cherish this evening because community is at the heart of everything we do. Looking out at all of you, I don't just see an audience, I see the living, breathing embodiment of that community, the kind that moves our mission forward and truly changes lives. In this room, I see our employment program, which this past year has helped over 300 people find, secure, and maintain jobs. I see supported living, where we're helping about 24 people live in their own homes in their own terms. I see our self-direction program, where this year we've grown to over 40 staff members, helping us reinforce our commitment to providing essential wraparound services for our participants and their families. And I see our Community Connections program, where we give participants unique opportunities to make their voices heard, from art and improv to our very own Outside Voices Theater Company, which earlier this year premiered an original piece. These programs and the people behind them are why JobPath remains such a force in the developmental disability community. We stand on the achievements of nearly 50 years of programming. While the pandemic challenged our sector, it only made us more resilient. Today, JobPath is stable. We are innovating, and through our new strategic plan, we're driving toward an even brighter future, investing in the next era of JobPath. Before we move on to recognizing tonight's honoree, I would like to acknowledge a few special people. First, thank you to our Board of Trustees. Many of you are here tonight. If you could just raise your hand so we could acknowledge you. Thank you. For your leadership and unwavering support. In particular, a huge thank you to Board Member Will Phillips and to Covington for welcoming us into this incredible new space here in Hudson Yards. To our Employer of the Year, CAC Industries, you exemplify the JobPath mission. As an employer and as a partner, you make the idea of employment for all a reality, and I'm honored to be celebrating you tonight. I also want to recognize our remarkable staff members, many of whom are in this room. If you could all just maybe raise your hand so we could acknowledge you. I am so proud of this team, especially those being honored tonight with the Dan Cunningham Award. To our full staff, your devotion is the heartbeat of the agency, and we thank you for everything you do. In that same spirit of gratitude, I want to acknowledge the many past staff members with us tonight, and if you could all raise your hands, there are many of you here tonight. Every person who has worked at JobPath has laid a brick in the incredible community we build together. And to our donors, your support allows us to keep our work deeply personalized. That level of care sets JobPath apart, but it's only possible because of your generosity. You are the reason this community thrives. And no one represents the spirit of this community more than Amy. Associate Executive Director Amy Altoff has been part of JobPath for 20 years. In that time, we've seen well over 500 participants come through our employment program, each seeking work and a place to belong. Amy has shaped the lives of every single one of them. From her first day here, she's been a champion of JobPath's customized employment approach. She believes fiercely that everyone has the right and ability to work, that everyone can give of their talents and help contribute to a greater community. And she cares so deeply. Amy knows our participants through and through. She knows the needs of our employer partners. She's been a mentor to the 300 plus staff members who've made our work possible over the last 20 years. She's a sounding board for new ideas. She's an innovator, constantly looking how to bring on new partners and push ourselves in the employment sector to make a more equitable one. She's passionate, thorough, thoughtful, kind. More than any of that, she's a dear friend. Amy, working with you has been a highlight of my career. You are a shining light to so many of us, and I'm constantly blown away by your ability to recall every single participant you've ever worked with. Right? I treasure our conversations, especially how you bring so much thoughtfulness to my focus on numbers and quantitative data. You are all about the quality, and that shines through in everything you do. I cannot thank you enough, and I look forward to working alongside you for the next 20 plus years. Everyone, please join me in welcoming up tonight's incredibly well-deserving honoree, Associate Executive Director, Amy Altoff.
Thank you, Carly, and thanks so much to everyone for coming out tonight. So many people I haven't seen in years, and this recognition truly means so much to me. So after 20 years, there is so much I could say. In fact, my first version of this was about 10 pages long, but don't worry, I parsed it down a bit. So at JobPath, our mission is to help people with autism and other developmental disabilities lead the same kind of life everyone wants. Yet as we know, many people with developmental disabilities are stereotyped, unseen, overlooked, or not given the space to really show who they are and what they truly are capable of. So we try to open doors, literally one door, one business at a time. The first person I ever found a job for was a participant in her 40s. As part of our discovery process, I visited the sheltered workshop where she spent her days in Midtown, not far from here, and eventually created a job for her at Modell's in Washington Heights. Watching her literally shriek with joy while cashing her first paycheck, a little over $100, for the first time in her life, that's when I knew that one could make important things happen here. We often talk about the impact of the first people we found jobs for. So thank you, Alicia, Serena, Malika, Ruben, Tori, and Elise, for being as patient as I learned and teaching me in your own ways what it truly means to have a job. Getting to know them and so many JobPath participants over the years, this has been the greatest gift. And watching the work grow has truly been an honor. To see the number of people we serve expand to over 300 participants, to see more than 150 employer partners, to see customized employment be recognized in the city and state of New York as it is today, it took years of hard work, advocacy, and consistent messaging. I am humbled by these accomplished, yet recognize the distance we still must travel, the gaps we need to close to find more employers and create more jobs. At times it feels like we're a broken record, touting the benefits of customized employment time and time again, but that's the focus it takes to create real change. But that achievement is only possible through the people who work here. You, are the life of this organization. My perspective has been shaped by 3 women leaders at JobPath. Thank you, Freda, for your bold leadership and unending commitment to increasing employment opportunities. Unfortunately, she was sick today, so she wasn't able to attend, but she texted us before. She says hello to everyone. To Rachel, my foundation at to Rachel, my foundation at JobPath, my mentor from day one, thank you for believing in me. And Carly, for your support and friendship, for understanding the balance needed to sustain the work. Working closely with JobPath staff in all departments, many of you for years, has meant so much. The culture is intimate, everyone is easily accessible and willing to share their expertise. I'm inspired by the long-term dedication of our DSPs and how you rally for participants and staff when they need it most. I'm in awe of all the essential behind-the-scenes work that keeps this ship sailing. Of course, my work at JobPath has focused on employment, and any honor for me is a recognition of the truly amazing humans I've had the privilege to work with, past and current, in this department. The reality is that creating jobs and helping them keep them is really challenging. There are so many layers and so much goes into creating a match. It's truly a team effort, and I constantly learn from all of you. Your strengths and how you interact with participants, families, and employers. I'm not ashamed to look over your shoulder and see how you word an email, because none of us have all the answers or have cracked the code. Experience helps, but new challenges and situations arise daily. You see discriminatory practices and the best of inclusion and humanity, and then there's a lot of gray in the middle, which is why I'm so fortunate to work with such incredible, wise, thoughtful, pragmatic colleagues. We parse out the gray together. And don't worry, we do have fun and laugh a lot too, and a sense of humor in this work goes a very long way. Speaking of what gets us through the day, I'd like to shout out our employment directors. My right hand and confidant, Senior Director Abby Shatton, Jim Avanzino, Marvin George, and Kevin Cross. We've been through so much together, there are not enough words to express my gratitude. So only this for now. How you show up for people inspires me to no end. And to the directors of our Consortium for Customized Employment, Karen and Wendy. Thank you for continuing to open doors in new and exciting ways. In this crowd of amazing people here tonight, the one person I wish could be here is my dad, who passed away in October of 2024. My mom and I were his primary caretakers for 12 years, and I am forever grateful for the support I received from JobPath and so many of the people in this room. My father worked in construction management for 30 of those years at a family-owned company in New York City. The fact that we are honoring CAC Industries as our employment partner tonight, I find some serendipity in that. Which brings me to my mom, who has probably been my biggest supporter over the years. I am so honored to be able to thank you in front of you all tonight. Thank you for telling it like it is and being you. And I can't leave without thanking our incredible employers. Even though I'm a native New Yorker and I've grown to know and love this city, even more through them. I love shopping at stores that have hired someone, seeing a partner's logo on a truck passing by, knowing the medical facility I have an appointment at is an employer partner, or running into a participant who is working while attending a performance at a theater. I am fortunate to carry with me this mental map of the goodness that exists all across this city. And we need this to grow this map, because so many more participants are eager for an opportunity to show what they are capable of in this city of ours. And I know we will, and we will do it together. So thank you again. I've now spent a majority of my career on 38th Street, this one arbitrary block in Manhattan's financial district, full of spandex, buttons, and boas. I've had the privilege to witness the innovative work happening on this block for 20 years, whether it's happening at JobPath's office, at our residences, in communities, or businesses throughout the city. And I have been proud to call it my home.
Thank you so much, Amy. I'm happy to return to this stage to celebrate staff who are at the heart of this work, those who support participants across every one of our programs every day of the year. In 2019, we established the Daniel P. Cunningham Award to honor the memory of an incredible leader who served as our board president for 2 decades. We created this award not just to remember Dan, but to celebrate the staff who carry his legacy forward by truly living the Job Path mission every single day. I'm also grateful for the opportunity to acknowledge Alice Cunningham and her family. Thank you so much, Alice, for everything that the Cunningham family has done for Job Path over so many years. You'll hear from Alice in a moment when she introduces the Cunningham winner. But first, I want to tell you about our other outstanding nominees. Just going to spot them all in the room. Okay. 2 people, unfortunately, cannot be with us tonight, but we still want to shine a light on their incredible work. Demetris Marcano is a benefits and entitlement specialist and a lead DSP who has been with Job Path for 6.5 years. She leads a virtual community group on Mondays and also helps participants and their families across the agency's departments to navigate benefits. Recognizing that these systems can be incredibly complex and difficult to manage, her supervisors say she goes above and beyond to ensure that they feel empowered and informed to make decisions about their finances and work options. Congratulations and thank you, Demetris. Daisy Guido, who also couldn't be with us tonight, has been with Job Path for 3 years, and for the last year has served as a living caregiver for 2 participants. In their nominations, supervisors praised her thoughtful, creative approach to supporting these 2 men as they live independently for the first time. They noted that she has earned their deep trust by focusing on their unique needs as individuals as they meet challenges and work towards their goals. Congratulations and thank you, Daisy. And now, I'm happy to recognize our 2 nominees who are with us here tonight. We'll start with Tamisha Coleman. Tamisha works in our supported living program, has been a DSP for almost 12 years, and in nominating her, she was praised by her supervisors for how she connects with participants with patience and respect, listening carefully and taking thoughtful action. Tamisha is a compassionate advocate who meets people precisely where they are, helping them thrive in every aspect of their lives. Thank you and congratulations, Tamisha. Now we turn to Mandy Winchester from our employment department. No. Mandy started as a DSP in February 2023 and was promoted that same year to a full-time specialist role. In their nominating submission, her supervisors noted how she consistently brings joy and attentiveness to her work every day. Over the past 3 years, she has stood out for what they called her unrelenting work ethic, her fierce compassion, and her unwavering dependability. Thank you, and congratulations, Mandy. Congratulations again to all these remarkable staff, and thank you to the senior team who so thoughtfully nominated them and the Board of Trustee members who selected the winner. And now, I'm pleased to welcome Alice Cunningham to introduce the Dan Cunningham winner.
And I'm pleased to be here, and I am absolutely thrilled to announce the award to Miss Raven Lopez for her perfectly extraordinary work. For her extraordinary work with Community Connections. I first want to mention, just parenthetically, that Raven's mom also works here, and she's with Supported Living. She's been 6.5 years with Job Path. Raven herself has been with us for 3 years. She's with Community Connections and a direct support professional. She works hands-on, one-to-one with 4 separate participants. And I'm told I've only had the pleasure of meeting Raven this evening, but I'm told she is just remarkable. She accompanies her participants to their classes here at Job Path in art and in poetry and in Spanish and in group skills. And she also, and this is spectacular, she takes them to the beach, she takes them to parks for picnics, and she takes them to museums. She's said to have an absolutely remarkable understanding of the city of New York, and she brings that to bear in deciding where she's going to take her participants and how she's going to enhance their lives. She works with them in the community, for instance, with the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. And most importantly, and this is what she's really been praised for, she helps them arrange getting together with friends and with family, and all of the families of her participants say how spectacular she is, how easy it is to communicate with her, how she propitiates communication with the participants. And we all know how much we'd like to communicate well with our children. And she's considered to be a rock star. That's a direct quote in seeing inside the people she works with and in fostering their independence. The proof is right here. We have this evening one of her participants, Mr. Anthony Newman, who has, I'm going to ask you to stand. Anthony has, in case you haven't noticed, I hope you'll notice before you leave, he has artwork and poetry in the silent auction. This is he, so a round of applause, everyone. And so to Miss Raven Lopez for her golden inclusive heart, if you would kindly come up so I can present the award to you, we'd all be honored.
If you would come over here.
I'm so nervous right now. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate coming out here today. Being a DSP means the absolute world to me. I've always enjoyed supporting others in any way possible. I didn't realize how many people's hearts that I've touched or had a positive impact on their lives just by being around. And it feels good to know that I'm actually doing something great for others. Most people will say their favorite memories at work will be the fun activities that I've done with them. But the best memories that I've made was connecting with the people that I support. The memories that mean a lot to me and to them are the times where we all needed a friend to comfort them and just sometimes sit down and listen to them. I've come to know all of them on a personal note, and each and every one of them is very beautifully spirited. Every individual has set goals to help them improve in everyday life, and I've always succeeded in helping them progress by taking the time to observe them and learn how to work with them in any way that fits. I will also love to shout out to my supervisors and anybody that I work with as a team. You guys have always noticed my hard work, and I really appreciate it, and you guys are always in my corner. They have my support to the fullest as well as I have theirs, and there has been times where I've questioned or second-guessed myself, and they always reminded me my worth and encouraged me to keep striving. It's amazing how, as a DSP, I came into this field thinking that I was going to be the only one given support. But there has been times where I've received it myself. And not just from staff and, supervisors, but also my participants as well. Everyone has their up and downs, and there are days where I am mentally not there. But when I tell you my participants are there for me the same way that I'm there for them, I love it so much. I couldn't appreciate it more. I've learned so much from them, and I think they taught me a lot more than I taught them. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We were supposed to have Jackie Bretschneider here tonight from the Brooklyn Children's Museum. Unfortunately, she could not be here tonight, so you have me, so I offer you my sincere apologies. But I do have Jackie's words, so this will be infinitely better than if I was doing this. These are Jackie's words. Through our partnership with JobPath, we were introduced to Christian Baptiste. Since joining our team, Christian's strong work ethic and reliability have made him a valued member of the museum. His presence reflects what inclusive employment is all about, creating environments where everyone can contribute, grow, and succeed. With that in mind, I and Jackie would like to take a moment to thank and recognize Christian, who was here tonight. I think he may have had to leave, but excellent. But he was here tonight. I'm sure you all had seen him. For the positive impact he continues to make on every visitor who comes to the Brooklyn Children's Museum. It is now my and Jackie's great pleasure to present this year's Employer of the Year to CAC Industries. CAC, applause, yes, please. CAC is a Queens-based civil contracting firm that has spent over 34 years building essential infrastructure across New York City, from sewer systems and roadways to bridges that keep our city moving. What truly, though, sets CAC apart is not just what they build, but how they build it. As an employee-owned company guided by the belief that it's always we, they have cultivated a culture rooted in collaboration, respect, and shared success. In keeping with that spirit, CAC's partnership with JobPath reflects a deep and meaningful commitment to disability inclusion. Anton and Devin, two valued team members, contribute daily by supporting their colleagues and strengthening overall workflow. As one supervisor shared, their presence brings real relief because they are trusted, capable teammates. Taken together, CAC demonstrates that inclusion is not a program or an initiative. It is a culture. It is coworkers supporting coworkers and leaders creating opportunity for every employee to contribute. It is now my and Jackie's pleasure to recognize CAC Industries as this year's Employer of the Year and to invite Michael Capasso to join me on stage to accept this award. Michael.
I just want to say it's so rewarding to be here and to meet Devin and Anton's family members. You know, when Anton's mother said to me, I don't know what you do at CAC, but when he wakes up every day and is so happy to go to work, nothing makes us feel better. You know, we were sitting around one day in our office and we disturb the streets and we screw up neighborhoods. And, you know, one of our initiatives is to always give back in those communities we work in. And one day we're sitting in the conference room and I said, well, our core purpose is unlimited opportunities. And it's easy to give back with gifts and financial contributions or backpack giveaways or Thanksgiving turkeys or Halloween candy drives. But giving back the gift of employment, to us, there was nothing greater. And our partnership with JobPath has been fantastic. And we were talking about it and never knew how to go about doing it. And just by happen chance, one of our executives was at the Squadron downtown at 7 World Trade, and met someone from JobPath, and that's how this really came to be. So thank you for allowing us to be part of your program. Everyone have a great night.
Well, that was fast and beautiful. Goodness gracious. Before you go, don't forget we have a wonderful silent auction over there. If you have not bid yet, you've got some artwork, you've got some fancy French cosmetic things going on. I know I could use a little zhuzh. We have some an Oculus for anybody who wants to do any virtual reality. So much fun stuff, so make sure you head on over there and place your bid before that's over. And give a round of applause again to all of our wonderful recipients tonight. This has been absolutely amazing. Any parting words that we would like to give to everybody, other than our thanks and our gratitude, and continue to be a part of JobPath and the wonderful mission ahead? We thank you so much. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you next year.